Hi, and welcome to this special edition of Check-In. Today, we're back to accompanying DW traveling reporters and YouTubers Allison and Eric Bieller on their tour through Central Europe in an electric camper van. They'll be taking us to tourist hotspots in Germany, Austria, and Italy. As part 2 begins, they arrive at the Cinque Terre in northern Italy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Allison and Eric again with DW Travels.
We have arrived at the Five Lands, also known as Cinque Terre. We're here, and it is beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
We're taking a break from the camper van today, mainly because cars are not allowed in the city. It's called the Five Lands, but it's actually more about the 5 villages in the area. And they're super unique because they're all carved into the cliffside. They're made up of these incredibly colorful buildings. They are so picturesque, and they sit right next to the sea. So you have this pristine blue water complementing all the colorful buildings in the villages. It's beautiful.
So this area is actually in a national park. So there's everything to do here. There's amazing wildlife, there's hiking, you can stroll the beautiful cities, or like us, you can eat the beautiful cities.
We're here to eat, you guys.
So the plan today is to visit each of the 5 villages, but also eat some local dishes along the way.
All right, another perfect and delicious day in Italy starts right now.
We have made our first official food stop, and it was actually tucked quite away in the first city, so we've just been wandering through the corridor, taking in all the bright colors. It's very charming, but we have come to Patisseria Laura for this. This little piece of pie is called the Monterosina, and this is, I believe, apricot jam at the bottom, some custard, and then a chocolate layer, all sandwiched between this lovely pastry. And it is, I guess, very, very famous. Ooh, so the outside is actually nice and crunchy almost. You mostly just taste the chocolate in here. It tastes like perfectly melted hot cocoa or something like that in cake form.
What kind of surprised me is that it's almost more crackery. I was expecting it to be maybe a little bit more soft and brittle, but it's definitely more like a cracker type of texture on the top and the bottom, and then really the chocolate is the main flavor you get. And I'm not sad about that because it is delicious.
We just realized that right across from the restaurant is, I guess, their kitchen where they make all of the pastries. There's a guy in there actually right now jamming out. He's singing along. He's rolled out all this dough and he's buttering it and cutting it and rolling it into one of their pastries. Looks like a lot of fun, and it smells awesome. We're currently in Vernazza, and that is Monterosso, where we started this morning. To get in between each city, you have several options. You could drive, but you have to go up through these winding mountain roads, and it takes an extremely long amount of time. Another option is you can actually hike between every city. Without stopping though, it takes about 5 to 6 hours. Yeah. There is also a ferry on the water that you can take, which we did last time we were here. It's a lot of fun in the summertime. But there is a 4th option, the best option, the option that we are doing, and that is the train, because it cuts through all of these hills and takes about 4 minutes to get in between each town instead of an hour or so.
We only had time for a quick stroll through this city because we have a date with lunch in the next city.
Oh yes, at a very special spot with hopefully a very special view.
Yes. Wow, it felt like those stairs were never gonna end. Oh my gosh.
You kept going like around one corner and you couldn't really see, and you'd turn one and be like, oh my God, I've got double left what I've already done.
But our restaurant is conveniently located right at the top of these stairs.
Yeah, you walk up your last step and you hear this like fun music playing, and then it's the restaurant. This is pesto pasta. Cinque Terre is actually part of a bigger region called Liguria, and pesto was invented here. For those of you who do not know, pesto is comprised of basil, pine nuts, butter, cheese, olive oil, all of the best things. And it's pureed and then topped on all sorts of different pastas and lasagna on bruschetta. It's in and on all the things here.
This is such a unique looking pasta dish with the little potatoes in there and green beans. Oh yeah. That's good pesto, very good pesto. I love that they make the pasta al dente so it has a little bit of a bite to it. And then the pesto is just, the only word I can use to describe it is just fresh. It is very, very delicious. To be honest, I was actually more excited about this sea bass ravioli. Oh man, it just looks so dang delicious. Wow, that is very, very good. The minute it hits your tongue, it's a flavor explosion. It's so cheesy and buttery and just packed full of flavor. I'm a huge fan of this. Get the sea bass ravioli if you come here. You guys, we made it to the southernmost village, Rio Maggiore. Is this beautiful or what, you guys? Holy cow. I can't decide which one is my favorite because even though they all look similar, they have a similar architecture style, they're all different in their own ways. Y'all, look what we got. Woo-hoo-hoo! This is another thing this region is actually known for. They have very good focaccia. Now, if you're not familiar with it, focaccia is just kind of a flatbread similar to pizza dough, but they put all these indentions in it before they bake it, and that is key because it holds all the toppings and all of the oil. It's absolutely delicious. And you guys know, the dough itself is the star of focaccia. I mean, obviously the ingredients are delicious, but it's just so soft and pillowy. Then you have all this oil caked on the top. Man, it is a lot like pizza, but just basically thicker. What an awesome spot to eat focaccia. Check this out.
I'm not even looking at you. I'm just looking at all the buildings.
I just now looked down.
Oh yeah, don't look down.
Holy cow. Okay.
It's just rough.
Never mind, I take that back. It's a terrifying spot to eat focaccia. Finally, you have got to catch the sunset from one of the cities. We chose Manarola. That's the final city that we haven't seen yet, guys, but we're here.
Our original plan was to catch the sunset from a restaurant up on top of the hill so that you get to see the sun go down on the city itself. Unfortunately, the queue was way too long.
Yes.
So we found out that you can have a takeaway drink and come sit on the water itself and watch the sun go down.
It's awesome because you still have views of the city up there, epic sunset over there. Amazing company right here.
Oh, to a wonderful, wonderful day.
The two adventurers are ready to move inland and away from the sea.
The third exit onto Pustertaler, Strata Statale 49 della Pusteria.
That was a mouthful.
Our electric camper van road trip continues, and this is the lowest that this thing has gotten so far. We got to about a quarter tank. I don't know why I'm saying tank, it's battery. I think we're getting the hang of this electric charging, you guys. We've been scouting out the stations ahead of time. We make sure to get this, which is the quick charger.
The supercharger!
There's actually two other types of chargers here, and sometimes this one that we need isn't the one that they have.
Which, it'll still work, it'll just take a lot longer.
Some of them actually won't work. Like this one here, this one doesn't fit. No matter what, we can't make this one fit. So you have to make sure that you scout out the station that has the right charging plug. And sometimes they're either taken or they're broken. So we try to find a spot that has a few others nearby, just so we don't roll up on empty and then we're not able to find another charging station.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've used this Oneindia one, though. There's all kinds of different brands and we have a card specifically for this one. So this one's gonna work.
Fingers
all is gonna be well.
crossed it works, because we have other cards that are supposed to be working everywhere we go, and they have not been working everywhere we go.
We're gonna get all charged up and then we're heading further east into Italy, and we'll share with y'all later what our plans are for this video. It's gonna be fun, I know that.
Hypothesis coincided with the
We have about 70 kilometers left on our charge, and it's always tricky to decide, do Do we keep driving and run down the charge a little bit further until, you know, maybe there's like 20, 30 kilometers? Then you run the risk of getting to the station, the charger doesn't work or won't accept our card, and then you're kind of screwed in the middle of nowhere. Or do you just kind of bite the bullet and charge a little bit earlier than maybe you want to? And we've been charging earlier than maybe we want to because we really don't want to get stranded.
The good news is we found a really awesome charger. It has our type of connector right here.
Yes.
So we're gonna get all charged up. Plus, there is an Italy right over here. You guys, we spoke too soon. We have these 3 different cards they gave us to use at the charging stations. Not a single one of them work. Our credit cards don't work. I'm actually on hold with this company right here, EVWay, which apparently they have an app where you add payment, then you can use that to start the charging. It doesn't work. Gives me an error message every time I try to do it. She's working through it and trying to start it for me, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
We've been on the phone with her for probably half an hour, and I think we're about to give up.
We were so excited about the electric vehicle in the beginning of our road trip. Everything was working pretty well, and now we've had several instances like this where we counted on a charging station, it has the right plug, it should work, and it just doesn't. We've lost a whole bunch of time. We have to go find another one. Hopefully that one works, and then we have to wait another 45 minutes or so for it to recharge. Today's not off to a good start. It's already 4 p.m., so we're not making good time because of all this.
No, we were hoping to get to our hotel early and do some sightseeing, and that will not be happening today.
Yeah, it's all right. We're gonna hit the road and go to the next station. Let's go. Okay, we found an Oneindia charger. We have an Oneindia card. This should all work. All right, this one is working. We are getting charged. Finally!
This is so stupid, y'all. We thought it was gonna be so fun and easy. We had apps, we had all the right cards, we thought, and it turns out there's a lot more to charging a car than I ever would have imagined. On the plus side though, this looks like it's going up to 100 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Our first one from this morning maxed out at 50, so maybe this will go really fast?
Financial markets during the pandemic.
To make up for their troubles, it's looking like their next day in northern Italy will bring perfect weather. The region is filled with beautiful vineyards.
We have arrived to our next destination in the Treviso province. We came to Hotel Du Carpini, and it is a very, very special place. As you can see, it sits right smack in the middle of an incredible vineyard. Vines as far as the eye can see, rolling hills, epic classic Italian countryside. So you guys saw we had a little bit of car trouble charging our electric vehicle yesterday, so that means we got in a lot later than we wanted to. Our plan was to spend a lot more time in this region because they have obviously really epic wineries, so we were gonna go do a wine tasting, take some time to stroll around the vineyard. Of course, you can get some incredible pictures around here, but we did manage to get up bright and early so we could come out, stroll among the vines, and just take in at least a little bit of the views before we head on.
This is the amazing room we stayed in last night. This is actually the top level of the old farmhouse where the farm workers from the vineyard used to live. It's since been converted into a hotel. We're absolutely in love with the architecture. You can see they've got these beautiful stone walls. They have whole tree trunks through the roof as the support. It's all raw, it's all beautiful. It's so mighty and rustic. Sadly, we didn't get to spend as much time here as we wanted to. As you know, we got in very late last night. We thought we would have the whole day to explore. And today we have to be off again. We go even further north. Our ultimate destination is Munich, but between now and then, we are hoping to squeeze in just a few more incredible views.
Like, for example, Lake Braias, about 150 kilometers to the north. Their next destination.
My advice to you all, get here early, because parking is pretty friggin' wild.
And maybe don't come on a weekend.
Yeah, but it cost us €10 to park, and I think we got one of the very last spots.
We made it to the lake. It's absolutely stunning, just like we thought. And it's so serene. I feel like we have the whole thing to ourselves, y'all. Just kidding. Everyone in the entire world is here. So, according to the internet, they said you could rent these awesome little boats. And we thought, you know, it'd be like this. A little family out there. It turns out everyone is doing it. The line is like all the way backed up to the hotel.
I mean, the place is incredible.
It's still amazing. You
Yeah.
can still get great views. You can hike around or walk around the entire lake. I'm just blown away by the amount of people. It's like almost October. It's after the high season, so I can't even imagine what this is like in the summertime. Sorry, sadly no boat today, but that's okay. We've taken boats out before, no big deal.
So we decided to bail on that other lake because we didn't really realize how awesome the lake is here at our campsite. This is it.
This is what our campsite is built around.
Yeah, is
This
that
magical
incredible?
thing, yeah.
It's pretty friggin' sweet. It's nestled in between this epic mountain view. The water's crystal clear and very, very still. Most importantly, far, far less people.
Hardly anyone is out right now. It's essentially the exact same thing, just shrunken down.
Yeah.
And it still has a walking trail completely around it, which I think we are gonna go explore. Supposedly, there are some little streams or rivers that pour into this that are supposed to be a beautiful blue.
We also might grab a beer or some Prosecco for the journey.
All right, boozy walk. Yes.
I think I might have found the most tremendous wood pile ever crafted by man. Look at this thing.
I just gotta keep backing up.
I just got this horrible vision of this toppling over right on me.
No, you'll be fine.
Oh my gosh. I really want to climb it too. Probably shouldn't, right?
Yeah, now that might make it topple over on you.
Bet you guys didn't know that we'd been here before.
Aww. I wonder what their names are. Probably also Eric and Allison, right? Well, they did all the hard work for us. That was so nice of them.
We were just about to do it, but it's already done. And a lot better than we ever would. This is just a little spot where I guess everyone's made little pictures in the rocks, put their initials and stuff.
That is so adorable.
She's officially blown away, you guys.
I love it. I love it so much.
Check this out. Is that a beautiful stream or what? I mean, they don't get much more beautiful than that. Look at that color.
Wee. That's straight from a really cold mountain.
We have made it to what might be the most beautiful charging station of this entire trip.
In the world.
Maybe in the world as well, I don't know.
Yeah. When we left this morning, we only had about 100 kilometers, and this was 120 kilometers. Somehow we made it though.
We made it, but this is the lowest that our battery has gotten. We were below a quarter of charge on this thing.
I'm so glad it worked out because we actually stopped at other chargers and they did not work this morning.
So we made our way further into northeastern Italy. We are just near the Dolomites, or Dolomiti, as they would say in Italian. But they are these epic collection of mountains. But this is already pretty dang beautiful. We got incredible mountains over there. We've got mountains over there. You know, some more mountains behind this charger here. Not a bad
Everywhere.
place to stop and charge up, you guys.
Plus a super charming little mountain town.
Let's put it this way. If this charger doesn't work out, we're just going to get a hotel and stay here.
It's gonna be
Why not?
fine.
So we just learned the hard way that you cannot charge other cars at a Tesla supercharging station, even if the plug fits. So nice little lesson. But the downside of that is we only have 36 kilometers left on our range, and there are very few charging stations in the area. Most of them are not quick charging. So we're going to one that's like a few kilometers down the road at a hotel. We'll see if
Yeah.
it pans out.
We're just keeping our fingers crossed. If not, there's one like 20 kilometers away, but
That'll be pushing it.
We might get towed to that one if we try for it.
All right, the charging station is real. That's it right there. But will it work?
Oh my word, it's happening. It's working very slowly, but it appears to be charging.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, we had 28 kilometers
Yeah.
till this thing was empty. We're below a quarter of a battery charge. I was sweating it, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but we're having fun now because it's all working out.
Now I'm gonna go get the biggest cappuccino and the biggest croissant and just chill. Y'all check it out. Right now, I am in Austria. And now, I am in Italy. Italy. Austria. Italy, Austria, and both! Oh no!
Allison and Eric Bieler's journey in the electric van is coming to an end. It's time to head to the airport and back to Munich. And to think back on the voyage.
It's been very interesting. There were things to learn. For example, you have 3 different levels of power when you're driving. If you're going downhill, for example, you're in the green charge area where it's actually charging your battery for you. When you hit a good cruising speed, you're in the eco mode, so you're using some of the battery but efficiently. And then when you have to speed up, go really fast, you get into the power mode, and that seems to drain the battery quite a bit. So I've been trying to not go up into that top power mode, which means that I speed up a lot more slowly. And also the top cruising speed is around 110 kilometers per hour. So I'm slower in general. So I felt a little bad on some roads. I feel like we're the slow pokes.
A huge part of the learning curve, as you guys saw, was just figuring out how to charge properly, which charger works for our type of vehicle. You guys saw that we went to the Tesla charger station, which fits ours, but it doesn't charge it. In the PlugShare app that we've been using to find places to charge, if you search for the orange one, which I believe is the CCS2 type, that is the type that fits ours but has these 2 extra prongs which make it charge a lot faster.
The supercharger.
Yeah. At first we were just searching for the green ones, which can take 5 hours to charge. So when we were plugging it in, we were like, well, this isn't really going to work because we're only going to be here for about an hour. And then really just planning the route ahead of time as much as possible and having a fail-safe. So if we find one that looks like it's going to work, we just kind of assume that that might not work. And then we find another one that's close by, or at least within like 10 or 20 kilometers.
Always have a backup. We've really just been trying to stay above a quarter charge on the battery, and that seems to have gotten us everywhere we needed to go.
Yeah, we didn't break down on the side of the road. We didn't need a tow. I'm pretty happy about that.
I know, I'm pretty proud of us because we had some big driving days. I guess also, if you're planning a route, I wouldn't go over more than 200 kilometers in one drive. Otherwise, you could potentially run into trouble or just constantly be having to find extra charging stations along your route.
One of our goals at the beginning of this trip when we set out was to just create less waste. Since we're in an electric vehicle, we were like, all right, let's try to make a little bit less trash on this road trip. And in general, I feel like we succeeded. We did make a bit of trash, and as you guys have seen, we've been recycling along the way, and Europe has made that very, very easy because there are recycling centers like this all over the place. We did have just a couple plastic bottles. If we wanted to get water at the hotel, they would usually put it in a plastic bottle. And then of course we did have a few glass bottles, mostly wine and beer. And we actually haven't purchased one single-use coffee cup this entire trip, which that's a lot for us because we drink a lot of coffee, you guys. All right, we're all charged up, we're all recycled up. Let's hit the road. This is some of our favorite scenery yet. We're just driving through all these hills. We are in the clouds right now. There's just clouds wrapping all around all the hills and mountains and forest land. This trip is really throwing all this beauty at us at the very end.
I know, it's like the most beautiful drive ever.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go straight from this to being on an airplane for hours with a bunch of yokels.
But all right, we have about 45 minutes to Munich. We're going to drop off the car. Hopefully there's no damage that we're not aware of.
I don't remember hitting anything.
Yeah. And then it's gonna be off to the airport. We've dropped off our camper van. All was well.
I'm kind of sad to leave it behind now.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
It was. Bye, space tour. Just like that, our incredible road trip through Europe is over.
I'm so sad it's over.
Yeah.
As you can see, we traded in our nice fancy electric vehicle for our old gas guzzler here.
But man, we really squeezed the last little bits out of summer while we were traveling through Italy. Because as you can see behind us, it is very, very fall right now.
100% fall.
Yeah, but the plus side of that is it's very beautiful. The leaves are changing all over the place. It's awesome. We had such an incredible time traveling through Europe, saw so many amazing sights, met so many awesome people, had a blast. If you missed any of our European road trip adventure, All those videos are going to be linked in the description below. So check it out.
And we want to give a huge thank you to DW Travel for helping us coordinate this whole adventure. We had such a blast. It was such a unique experience, and we couldn't have done it without them.
That's all for us, you guys, for now. We'll see you in the next one. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful.
Epic lake view.
Amazing green, crystal clear water. You don't need water, you just need gelato.
Incredible.
It's still amazing.
Oh my God, the views are incredible.